So, women's football has dropped in FM26. Let's catch up and see the latest video. Lots in here. Let's go through it.
It's been a long time coming. The support, the passion, the rise and rise of the sports. And now it is finally part of Football Manager. This year, women's football has been introduced for the very first time in series history, changing the game.
We're getting a lot of footage here. Oh, I like this. So we can see this is the German Bundesliga, the Frauen Bundesliga. This is Germany.
Forever. A new dimension, fully integrated and ready for you to discover however you want to play. With 14 leagues.
14. We got 14 leagues, okay. 11 nations. So who's in the 14 leagues?
11 nations and 3 continents, including some of the biggest licenses.
Oh, look. So they were on about it being optional, and obviously it probably still is. It's probably a bit earlier than this. But you do have Premier League, Women's League, a bit of a championship that might cause some arguments there. Women's League 2, League 1, League 2. That's reputation-based, I suppose. So the Super League 1 is about in between the Premier League and the Championship. Super League 2 in between the Championship and League 1.
This is in the women's game.
What have we got? We got Elite. Okay, so we got a Damosfinken and we got the Eliten. Okay, and we got the Bundesligas.
And it's all.
So what was that? So it's only So it's only one German league, not 2.
In the women's game.
It's 2 in Sweden, 2 in England.
And it's all.
That's a surprise.
Powered by the largest women's football database in games.
41,000 people in that database is massive.
It's still the Football Manager you know, built on depth, authenticity and realism. But now the women's game sits within that same universe.
Oh, did you see that little bit of play? Let's see it take around the keeper.
But now the women's
nice.
game sits within that same universe. One
very cool.
One ecosystem, one database. Your story
okay.
begins here in
that's
the
cool.
dimension of the beautiful game. Select men's football, women's football, or both.
And that's the key bit. Men's, women's, or both. For everyone going, oh, I can't deal with women's football in the game, don't have to play it. Calm down.
All existing together in one connected world. Seamlessly integrated into the game you know and love, but with its own identity, shaped by how women truly play the sport at the highest level.
The match engine is looking crisp. The footage is looking really good.
That means a different transfer market, shorter deals, fewer release clauses, a system modelled on the realities of the women's game. That's reflected with injuries too, based on real-world player data. A 20 is still a 20. For example, a striker in the women's game with a 20 for finishing is rated on the same scale as a men's striker.
This is new. Now, this is interesting because there's people complaining about the realism of having women at 20 and men at 20. But as we've just seen there, it's on the database. It's not comparable. Let's have a look at some of these players then. Playmaker wing back, okay. Inside wing back, full back, wing back, okay. This is obviously Alex Greenwood. She's 32. Got a lot of pace. I can see some people already going to kick off about this. I like that though. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Bunny Shaw. 19 finishing, 18 composure, 16 first touch, deep line forward, centre forward, target forward, poacher, channel forward. Another couple of roles there. Wages are only 2,500 per week. Anything else we can see hidden right way here? Internationals, club appearances, goals. So on this, there's no such thing as a mixala. Now, it might just be this is for women's football, but wide central midfielder confirmed, central midfield playmakers, advanced playmaker, and channel midfielder, which could be a Carolero. So on this, there's no such thing as a mixala. Now, it might just be this is for women's football, but wide central midfielder confirmed, central midfield playmakers, advanced playmaker, and channel midfielder, which could be a Carolero. Women against women, men against men. Accuracy
takes more than just data. Dedicated motion capture sessions with real footballers to understand the characteristics of how women move on the pitch, from pressing to passing, from shooting to celebrating. The results? More accurate movement, more realistic moments, a game that feels authentic on and off.
Oh, look at that.
This has been years in the
Nice little bit of touch there.
built from the ground up, a promise made in 2021, delivered in FM26. And this is just the start. The database will expand, the experience will deepen, the game will keep evolving. In FM26, women's football is yours to define. Step into the dugout, it's time to change the game.
Well, that's exciting. Well, that is very, very, very exciting. I dare say we're all there. We all love it. If you want a further bit of breakdown of the leagues, I'm going to give it to you now. So we can see NWSL in America. We've got the Scottish, the English, the Welsh and the Irish. We've got a Swedish league. We've got Denmark. We've got Italy. We've got Germany. We've got France. And we've got Spain. We've got Japan and we've got Australia. Biggest surprise to me was the fact we had a lack of Latin American countries. Not overly surprised about the Middle East and North Africa. And we haven't got the South African League and this is one of the biggest surprises, the Canadian League, which Canada is quite a powerhouse in international football for women. So, yeah, that is interesting. Let's break down some of these leagues. Okay, so in the Women's Super League, we have Arsenal, Aston Villa, Brighton and Hove Albion, Chelsea, Everton, Leicester City, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, West Ham United, all very familiar clubs in the men's game. However, we've also got London City Lionesses. That's because they were affiliated with Millwall, but they broke away in 2019 to become London City Lionesses. So they are based in Bromley, and that is a separate club from Millwall. Let's just make that clear because they are no longer affiliated. And obviously there is promotion and relegation. There's promotion from WSL2 and relegation. And obviously we've just heard there's actually been quite record-breaking. So, for example, Chelsea went unbeaten. Arsenal won the Women's Champions Leagues. In the WSL2, we've got some familiar names in the men's game again. Birmingham City, Bristol City, Charlton Athletic, Crystal Palace, Ipswich Town, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, Portsmouth, Sheffield United, and we've also got the Tyne and Wear derby with Sunderland involved. But also another North East club of Durham is in there this year. So the Australian League is sponsored by Ninja. That's right, the air fryer company sponsors the Australian League. So you could play the Ninja League. That's me sold already. The Ninja League in Australia. Let's cover what teams are there. We haven't got some fancy graphics. I did look for a long time. I couldn't find the fancy graphics, so bear with. We're going to have a list of teams on this one. Adelaide United, Brisbane Roar, Canberra United, Central Coast Mariners, Melbourne City FC, Melbourne Victory, Newcastle Jets, Perth Glory, Sydney FC, Wellington Phoenix FC and Western Sydney Wanderers FC. So other than Canberra United, everyone else is in the A-League. So that's an interesting mix of, again, you could play in Australia and women's and men's leagues. You could easily play Australia men's and women's and go across, say, from the women's team to the men's team, and you know, most of the teams are there as well. Let's show you possibly the biggest league in the world, the NWSL. So the NWSL is very American. There's actually quite a lot of teams here, so we're going to cover this now. We've got Angel City FC, who have been included in some of the promotional marketing for Football Manager 26. Bay FC, Boston Legacy FC, Chicago Stars FC. These are all FC, some of these are all FCs. Denver Summit, Houston Dash, Kansas City Current. That's a great name. Gotham FC. I think Gotham FC for me is one of those ones of, yeah, New York, Gotham FC that's a quality badge. North Carolina Courage, Orlando Pride, Portland Fawns, I don't know if that's Racing or Racing Louisville, San Diego Wave, Seattle Reign, Utah Royals, and the Washington Spirit. Again, there's a lot of teams. It's very Americanized. I do like a lot of the badges. Gotham FC does stand out for me on this one, I gotta be honest. But that's just because Gotham's in New York. Angel is obviously Los Angeles. There's a lot of American movie stars back in that. You got Orlando Pride, you got Seattle Reign. I do like Seattle Reign as well as the name. It's just great. I do love the way the Americans do the team names. It's bonkers, but I'm all for it. Yeah, let's do Wales. So the Genero Adran Leagues, or the Welsh Women's Leagues, there's actually 3 of them. Very similar to how they do the Cymru Premier actually in Wales. So you've got the Premier, and then you've got the North, and you've got the South. So let's do the teams in the Premier League first. So Adran Premier is Swansea City, Wrexham. You can see Cardiff City there. Now, those are the three teams that are based in England in, obviously, the men's game. But in the women's game, they're based in Wales. So, again, that's Swansea, Wrexham and Cardiff City. Then you've got the New Saints, Aberystwyth Town, Pontypridd United, Brighton Ferry Llansamwel, and Barry Town United. Those are the 8 teams that form the Adran Premier. Now, there's obviously a mix, and I know Cardiff City won it last year, and they went into the European Cup qualifiers. So that's how many teams are in the Premier. Let's see Women's Empowerment League in Japan. Now, if you thought I was good on the Welsh names, I'm not going to be great on the Japanese names. So please bear with me on the Japanese leagues. So I'm gonna try and just pick out the cities that they're based in. Okay, so we got Albrix Niigata. We got Cerezo Osaka Yanmar. We got Inak Kobe Leonessa. We got Sanfrecce Hiroshima Regina, which sounds a bit like maybe it's like the Queen's, so it's maybe like saying like rain, but you know it's Regina, so it's obviously Italian inspired from the company. You got Manaovi Sendai. You got Mitsubishi Heavy Industrials. I mean, that's a great name, isn't it? I know obviously the companies do sponsor most of the teams, but Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, Urawa Reds. You got Red Bull Omnia Adija. You got Shafuri As Alphan Santana. You got Jeff United, good old Jeff Ichaura. I can't get these names right. I'm going to be terrible. Please don't crucify me, please, in Japan. You got Jeff United in Ichara Chiba Ladies. You got Nippon TV Tokyo Verdy. You got Nojima Stella Kangawa Saga Miyara. And you got AC Nagano Pachero Ladies as well. That is the Japanese. I'm not repeating those names again because I butchered so many of them, but that is what teams are in the Japanese Women's Empowerment League. And we're going to move now over to France. And there's 2 leagues, I believe, that are going to be in France, and that's but the clubs are actually, again, pretty well known. So we could actually go. So in the Premier League, we got Dijon Fury, Le Havre, Lens, Lyon, Marseille, Montpellier, Nantes, Paris FC, Paris Saint-Germain, Saint-Étienne, Strasbourg. In the Second League, we've got Auxerre, Guingamp, Metz, Grenoble 38. You got Le Mans, Lille, Nice, Rodez, depending on if you have to pronounce the Z, Stade Rome, Evian, Toulouse, and US Saint-Malo. Okay, so that is France. Okay, so in the Pixel Frauen Bundesliga, we've got the following. Okay, so we've got Werder Bremen, Union Berlin, SGS Essen, Eintracht Frankfurt, SC Freiburg, Hamburger SV, Hoffenheim, Karlsruhe Jena, FC Cologne, RB Leipzig, Bayer Leverkusen, Bayern Munich, or Bayern München, obviously, FC Nuremberg, and VfL Wolfsburg. So there are 12 clubs in Serie A Femminile, and that's Como Women, Fiorentina, Genoa, Inter, Juventus, Lazio, AC Milan, Napoli Women, Parma, Roma, Sassuolo, and Terranana. Sorry if I butchered anyone's names there. So in the Danish league, or the Vinderliga, hopefully I pronounced that right, we've got Hoog, Fortuna, Norgeland, Kolding, Brøndby, AGF, Midtjylland, and Odense. Okay, so in the Damallsvenskan, it's Hammarby, Malmö, Häcken, Djurgården, Kristianstad, AIK, Vitryssel, IFK Norrköping, Vaxo, Petea, Rosengard, IF Bromma Polkanya, Lingping, and Alingas. And then we're going to just go to Spain to finish number 10. Okay, so the Liga Femenine has the following teams. Alhama El Pozo, Athletic Club de Bilbao, Atletico de Madrid, Tenerife, Deportivo Abanca, Dux Logroño, FC Badalona, FC Barcelona, Granada FC, Levante, Madrid CFF. I'm not quite sure. I've never heard of Madrid CFF, but that's an interesting one. Espanyol de Barcelona, Real Madrid, Real Sociedad, Eibar, and Sevilla. And that is 14 teams in the Liga F. So again, it's a really interesting league. It's really... So there we have it. Exciting times ahead. Hopefully we'll get the breakdown off the Football Manager website soon. Until next time, like and subscribe and comment where you're going to start your Football Manager saving the women's database. Till next time, take care. Bye-bye.